Good evening and welcome to Silver Creek School Corporation's Board of Trustees meeting on May 23rd at 6:30. We are going to have the Pledge of Allegiance followed by the invocation.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you that we can gather here this evening. Thank you for all the blessings that you've bestowed upon Silver Creek. We thank you for the school year and as it closes and coming to an end. We just thank you for all the great moments and things that have happened this year. We're so thankful for our students, the reason that we're here each and every day, the staff that continues to go above and beyond for them. And we just thank you for all your blessings. We ask that you'll continue to watch over us and keep us safe, especially this summer, as we know there's a lot of travel plans for our families. We ask that you'll just continue to provide your wisdom and help us to make the best decisions possible for our school district and to move it forward. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Dr. Balmer. We're going to have roll call. Mr. Bastian.
Here.
Ms. Bright.
Here.
Ms. Franklin.
Present.
And I am present, and Chris Roundtree will not be here, so we have quorum for it. All right, emergency additions, revisions to the agenda.
Yes, good evening. I do have several additions and revisions to the agenda. We will start under number 7, consent agenda, under letter F, personnel, under number 1, certified, under 4, positions. The first addition is to add letter C, position control number 30050 at Silver Creek Elementary School, an intervention teacher, effective July 25, 2023. The next 2 revisions come under consent agenda, under letter G, other, Roman numeral number 2. I recommend that we strike mental health services MOU. I'm not quite ready to make that recommendation. I will bring that to the June 20th meeting. And then I do request to add under letter G, other, Roman numeral number 3, declare Silver Creek Middle School band equipment surplus. And there are 4 items with that. Moving on, under number 8, discussion action items, under letter B, action items. Do request to make a change under Roman numeral number 2. I request to strike out the verbiage of bid package number 3, auditorium, and instead replace that with AIA A132-2019 contract with Construction LLC. Also under number 8, discussion action item, under letter B, action item, a request to add number 3, rejection of the following RFPs, and there are 5 of them. Letter A, interactive televisions for Silver Creek School Primary, Silver Creek Elementary, and Silver Creek Middle Schools. Letter B, intrusion access control systems for Silver Creek High School. Letter C, intercom and clock system for Silver Creek High School. Letter D, low voltage cabling for Silver Creek High School. And letter E, interactive televisions for Silver Creek High School. And the final addition would come under number 8, discussion action items. Under letter B, action items, I would request to add Roman numeral number 4, change order number 2 with Calhoun Construction. And that is it for revisions and additions to the agenda. Thank you.
With the emergency addition, revisions to the agenda, do you have a motion to move?
Could we clarify the rejection part of that? The audience would understand what we're doing there.
Yeah, so, or do you want to talk about it or you want me to?
Yeah, I can mention it. So we had put out, you guys had given permission for my staff to put out requests for proposals on those 5 items due to the lack of competition and then also the complexity of managing those items. We would recommend that we move those to Calhoun Construction, which is actually Roman numeral number 4. But before we do that, since you guys gave permission to seek these RFPs, you guys need to take action to reject them.
This allows us, as a school corporation, not to own these RFPs. Yeah. And at that point, it goes to Calhoun. The Calhoun will actually own it and manage it. That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Note I'll make on that.
That is for items B through E. A will be a separate one, since that is not something that is tied in with the project. That is interactive TVs for the other three schools, which we're looking at how we're going to approach
rebid,
those.
yeah. We're
So,
going to requote those or rebid those out. Yep. Yep.
Thank you.
So we're asking for it to be bid again,
On
or we're
interactive
gonna accept
A,
those, but somebody else is gonna handle it?
so on the change order, which is number 4, they are taking ownership for B, C, D, and E.
And then A will go back out to rebid.
That's correct, because we've only received 1 bid and they would prefer to have 3.
All right, thank you.
So with the emergency additions and revisions, Dr. Briggs had stated to have a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Ms. Franklin makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Go ahead.
Roger.
Second.
All right, Mr. Benson makes a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Approval of minutes from May 4th, 2023 work session, board minutes. We also have approval of minutes for May 9th, 2023 regular school board meeting minutes, and approval of minutes from May 9th, 2023 executive session minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
I so move.
Ms. Bryant makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Bastian makes a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It passes 4-0. Do we have any recognitions or presentations?
No, there are none.
Okay. Then we're going to go down to financial and operations of Dr. Bummer.
yes, good evening. We'll start with our monthly financial report. We'll take a deep dive into our two main funds that we operate out of, which is our education fund and our operation fund. So beginning with our education fund, our beginning balance for budget year 2023 was $4,970,000, $4,970,832.27. Our year-to-date revenue, that is revenue all the way through April, $7,751,810.80. Our expenditures through April, $7,066,820.49, with an ending balance in our education fund, $5,655,822.58. As far as our appropriation, we are 30.8% of our appropriation approved by the DLGF. Expected spent right now is about 33.3%. As mentioned before, as we go into the first semester of the second part of our budget year, but the first semester of next school year, you will see the expenditures go up from adding new staff. So that's something we'll keep an eye on. If we need to file for an additional appropriation, which is common for a growing district, we will towards the later end of the budget year. Moving on to our operation fund, beginning balance in our operation fund was $3,530,127.66. Year-to-date revenue, what we brought in through April, $1,264,342.95. And our expenditures through April, $2,436,816.98, with an ending balance in our operation fund of $2,357,653.63. We are 29.5% spent, and again, 33.3% as expected. And again, just as a reminder, our operation fund, the two main revenue sources come in with your property taxes in June and December. And again, we'll be seeing that one of those coming in here next month here in June. So just keep that in mind. That's why you'll see the discrepancy between your revenue and expenditures. Moving on to a couple more announcements with finance. Want to give a big shout out to our building treasurers for all their hard work this year, while getting textbook inventory, creating requisitions for the next year's items, identifying and cleaning up delinquent accounts. They're also working with building principals have been working with their building principals on the fees and schedules and getting everything ordered. So we really appreciate all their hard work with that. And on a very positive note as well, all the building treasurers passed their internal audit for the second semester. Randomly select receipt and expenditure transactions from the reports that they send, and they all passed with flying colors. So they did a really good job. Those things we've been trying to clean up with the way we document some things. So a lot of progress there. Moving on to our operations, starting with human resources, Ms. Miller and her team have been working very hard on the annual data gathering for the upcoming collective bargaining. Lots of information was pulled. It's a very tedious and detailed process, to say the least. So we want to thank Ms. Miller and Ms. Wyatt for all their hard work with that report. They're consistently looking ahead to improve systems. So something we are very excited about in the near future is our new insurance open enrollment process. Our ultimate goal is to establish a system that will house all insurance open enrollment, and we're working to ensure the system will be user-friendly and our staff and improving efficiency and accuracy. Mr. Sinclair from the Food Service Department, under his leadership, Mr. Sinclair recently took advantage of an IDOE surplus dump. That's what they call it. We received $13,141.11 worth of commodities in the form of food for our cafeterias. So this came at no cost to our district, so we really appreciate his watchful eye for opportunities like this and capitalizing those on a timely manner because it's first serve, first goes. First serve, first come on those. So technology, Mr. Smith and his team have been working diligently on rolling out the first replacement for our Chromebooks, our one-to-one. So grades 4, 8, and 11 have been completed. Next, they'll be collecting seniors' devices, and we'll repurpose those for second grade. And then first grade, we anticipate that being done by June. This is a huge undertaking from planning, funding, and finally arriving in the hands of our students. So thank you, Mr. Smith, for all your hard work. Transportation, Ms. Kahafer and her team are excited to share that all buses and our corporation vehicles that were once owned by West Clark Community Schools are now officially owned by Silver Creek School Corporation. Each bus and vehicle has been retitled and have new plates at Silver Creek School Corporation, a total of 55. This is the final steps for this, and the big delay came from having to wait until all the assets were finalized before going through this. But if you would visit Ms. Kahafer's office, there was a stack about this big. It was a ton of paperwork, so we really appreciate all her work with getting that cleaned up. On facility side, Mr. Poole and his team continue to make great gains on improving the efficiency and effectiveness of ensuring our buildings stay clean and respond quickly to maintenance requests. And wrapping up with some construction updates. Athletics are still on time with football and track. The football and track being ready by fall for our football season, and baseball and softball being ready for the spring. We just actually did a tour before this in the work session. I think, to say the least, everybody was very impressed by how things are turning out and the way it looks. It's going to be really awesome once we have a kickoff there at our football field, and looking forward to it. Bid package 2 has been approved for the main high school at Calhoun, and we anticipate that work beginning the first week of June. I believe June 5th is kind of the date they're thinking we'll start seeing some major renovation there. So that's very exciting. And then bid package 3 we'll be discussing tonight with during our discussion item with EH Construction. We do anticipate our 1 temporary classroom at Silver Creek Primary and the 2 at Silver Creek High School to be here in early June. We continue to work with the construction team to ensure everything is in place to begin around July 14th is our ultimate goal, to have those so teachers can get set up. We thank Shireman for all their hard work with that, and Mr. Poole as well. And if you are wanting to see updates, we do have some links on our website to all the projects where you can see timelines and photos, and we try to keep those updated as possible. Any questions?
No, great. Thank you so much, Dr. Palmer. Do we have any community input? Thank you. All right, so we have Ms. Dee Kramer. I'll afterwards.
Good evening. I'm Dee Kramer. I'm the librarian at Silver Creek High School. As you know, Silver Creek High School has 5 classes of Spanish next year for which we do not have a teacher. This is a full-time position. Dr. Eckert requested that we add a new position due to the increased enrollment, and unfortunately that request was denied due to the fact that we do not have funds available. That left us with approximately 120 students without a Spanish teacher. He was left with no choice but to take the 2 people in the building who are certified to teach Spanish and assign them those classes. Mr. Horton, our venture high ability teacher, will be teaching 1 class. This means that our new high ability director, and Mr. Horton had put some changes into motion that will no longer be able to be implemented. I will be teaching the remaining 4 of the 5 classes. As a result, our students will not have access to the library with a certified librarian at all on orange days, no librarian, and only for 2.5 blocks on blue days. This means that the Silver Creek High School Library, the center of literacy in our building, is only going to be available to our students for 12 hours a week. This is appalling to me. I find it distressing that our school's library is seen as dispensable. I disagree. I really believe that what we do in Silver Creek's library is important. In fact, let's take a look at the services that our students currently receive that they will not have access to next year. Annual literacy programs, banned book awareness, Hispanic Heritage Week, Read Across America, Indiana's literacy program, the Rosie Awards, year-long literacy program. They will no longer receive the responsible digital citizenship classes that I go around and teach in classrooms. The dog therapy program, 50% of which takes place in the library. They won't be able to enroll in our library media classes. The mentoring that I offer, mentoring and tutoring I offer in the library that I offer in English and Spanish, no longer available. The holiday sponsorship program, where we pair up members of the community who are willing to sponsor our need kids in the building so that they can have Christmas, no longer available. The holiday gift shop that we offer in the library so that our kids can come in and shop for free so that they are able to give their families gifts over Christmas, no longer available. The weekly library program for our moderate and severe special needs kids will no longer be available. Those kids come down every week. We put together a special program for them. They mix and mingle with our gen ed kids. It's a beautiful thing, no longer available. We have worked really hard to establish a safe place in our library. It's a place where the kids in the fringes of our library come in. It's our kids who speak Spanish, who have social anxiety and can't eat lunch in the cafeteria because they have panic attacks. I have kids in there that have eating disorders that come and eat in the library. This is what we've worked really hard for. And most importantly, our students see themselves reflected on the bookshelves in that library. I read over 150 books a year so that I can be sure that I am making the choices and doing the book orders so that our kids are able to see that. They reflect them, it reflects where they come from, and it reflects where they are going. Our students need access to our library. Therefore, I respectfully request that you add an additional Spanish teacher at Silver Creek High School in order to ensure that all of our students receive and have access to all of the courses and the resources they deserve.
Thank you, Ms. Kramer. And is there anybody else in the audience that would like to speak? Okay, hearing no one. Consent agenda.
Okay, under number 7, consent agenda, we have letters A through C. We have letter D, and under that, we have numbers 1 through 3. We have letter E, and under that, we have 1 and 2. Under letter F, personnel, we have 1 certified. Under appointments, A and B. Under resignations, letter A. Under leaves, letter A. Under positions, letters A through C. Under Roman numeral 2, classified. Under number 1, appointments, we have letters A and B. Under number 2, resignations, we have letter A. And under number 3, termination, we have letter A. Under letter G, other, we have numbers 1 and 3, with number 2 being previously deleted. That is it for the consent agenda.
Hearing the consent agenda, do I have a motion to approve?
I so move.
Ms. Franklin makes the motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
Ms. Bright makes a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0. At this time, we would like to ask Ms. Bai to please step up and say a few words.
Good evening. I am Kristen Bai, and I am here with my family. My husband, Jeremy, is on the end. Jeremy has actually helped the JV baseball team for the last 2 years with Silver Creek, so he's already kind of been involved in the school system some. Next to him is Brayson. Brayson is wrapping up his 5th grade year here at the elementary and will be in the middle school next year. Brecken is beside Brayson, and Brecken is wrapping up his 8th grade year here at the middle school, so he will be a freshman next year. And I just want to share kind of a little bit about our story. We moved to the area in June of 2021 when I was beginning my position at Southwestern Middle School as the principal there. And so the boys have spent 2 full years now here at Silver Creek. And I can only say, we can only say good things about our experiences. And I am genuine when I say that all of the teachers, administrators, coaches, even bus drivers that have gone above and beyond for us have been amazing. And Silver Creek has quickly become our home. And I just appreciate that. And that's why I'm here, because I was not looking to leave Southwestern. I was not looking for another position, but you guys have great work going on. And so I am honored and very excited to now officially be a part of the Silver Creek team.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Congratulations.
congratulations. Okay, on to our discussion action items. Discussion items with the legislative update, Mr. Bashan.
I could spend probably a couple hours on different things that's changed, but I'm not. I'll just let you know some of the highlights that come out of the State House this year. Some good, more bad. As far as the budget, again, we've had open discussions on the budget, and there's a real misconception of at least 8% increase to funding for public education. But what we consider public education, I like to think is traditional. Public education is used so widely in both houses now, they like to call homeschooling, charter, and private, public. And that gives them more of a backdoor into shifting almost $400 million to them programs. So when it's all said and done, public education, what we think of, it's going to probably wind up about 5.4%. So it's not the rosy picture that Indianapolis is making it out to be. What a lot of people don't understand, that 47% of the state budget goes to education in this state, and that's all forms of education. The centennial budget for next two years wound up being $44 billion. That's a big number to wrap your brain around, but almost $18 billion out of that's going to education matters. Out of all the bills that was introduced, what we started tracking the ISBA and what actually wound up coming out was started with 252, and we wind up with 48 new laws on our books that Chad and Todd's going to have to keep their eyes on. It's going to be a lot to learn. In the last 6 years, that's a total of 233 new bills that has affected public education. So needless to say there that they've got their hands full. One of the things that Rachel touched on last month, and I'm glad she did, was one of the hot topics in Indianapolis was Senate Bill 486, the bargaining rights of teachers union. It has been, I like to look at it, and I agree with a lot of people, it's more of a union busting bill. It really limits what the teachers can actually negotiate. As long as you got a good working relationship with the administration, the teachers union know there's nothing in the law says they still can't go back and touch base on the issues that we've always talked about in the past. It limits truly just what can actually be bargained for. So that's a big difference. And there's about 4 different bills out there that they like to list, and they listed as education matters, all education matters. Now, why some senators and House reps wanted to actually on paper make it look like they're really affecting education, and some of them does. Appreciate the work that Dee does for us, and the library is a area with parental rights coming up where they're going to be able to challenge books that's going to be in the libraries. It puts an extra burden on whoever's in there, but it also for the building administrations to really review things before it ever would get to that stage. It wasn't an issue. I think it was a bill that they was looking for a problem that wasn't there. And so that's something that however we wind up staffing is going to be something we've got to keep our eyes on. Like I say, there's a lot of bills, but I'm not going to sit here and try to touch on all of them. This is what was given out to us at the spring conference. I would encourage everybody, though, to go online and pull up the bills that come out of Indianapolis this year and look at the ones that's affecting traditional public education. We have a 2,000-page book to follow, and Charters has 120. Private schools don't have nothing, and homeschoolers is open ballpark. So I would encourage all of our staff to take time to look at bills. Rachel and I are going to Indianapolis next Thursday for law school, where the two attorneys for the ISBA is going to be touching base on several of these changes, and I'll have a little more update on the discussions that we have next Thursday.
Yes, thank you, Joe. And to hit on that, yes, that meeting was very informative, and I look forward to hearing what you and Rachel have to talk about next month.
Anybody would want to glance through this, you're more than welcome.
Okay, action items.
Okay, under letter B, action items, number 1, request to approve Silver Creek High School LIFT program. This is the proposed alternative school program. Dr. Eckert and his team have given presentations on this to the board, and with your approval, we would like to get that implemented to start the 23-24 school year. And just as a reminder, this is a school within a school, and so it'll give students a chance to who are behind on credit, and also for some students who are facing some disciplinary situations.
Do I have a motion to approve the Silver Creek High School LIFT program, alternative school program?
I'll so move.
Joe makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Franklin makes a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Passes 4-0.
Okay, moving on to Roman numeral number 2, request to approve AIA A132-2019 contract with EH Construction LLC. Just as a reminder, this is our recent bids that we received for the auditorium at Silver Creek High School.
Here in the AIA A132-2019 contract with EH Construction, have a motion to approve.
I so move.
Rachel makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Do we have any discussions?
I'll just say, people, we've got some bad PR over us doing our athletics first, because at the time we thought we were going to have plenty of money. But whenever you see the dollars that's going into this auditorium, it's going to be a first-class auditorium for our students and for all of our campus to use. It's a big ticket item.
I'll say that the rebidding of it separately from the other bid package obviously didn't come in lower than we wanted it to come in, but we have discussed it and there are some pros to it. One being that we did do that. It's going to be probably finished in about 18 months versus I think 32 to 36 months was what was originally told. So this is very positive, because if you have a student right now who's in the theater arts program, and maybe they were just entering high school, there's a very high probability that they maybe would have never seen the interior part of that being finished. So 18 months, that's very positive. They will start mobilizing and start construction. I think they said the next few months on this. So that's very exciting. And I'm just ready to move forward with that project.
Just kind of quick touch. Yes, 18 months is kind of the idea of how long it would take to get this done. And this is not a renovation. This is a full-on addition to the high school. So with having an all-new auditorium, it takes our theater and arts program to a whole new level. Having a whole new choir and band room takes us to a whole new level. And with the work that what we have started through the middle school, through the high school, this will only continue to grow. And like they're saying, it is state of the art. And I just honestly cannot wait to see this. And as everybody goes through renovation, this is actually going to be really nice to help out with some of the moving pieces as we move forward with the renovation. So
Yeah, I would also like to say that I'm very excited to see us moving forward with this because our students have waited so long, our theater students, to actually have an auditorium. What we have now is not an auditorium. So yeah, this is a very exciting direction that we're going. And just to add on to what they're saying, this package also does include, like Scott said, the band room. So it's a great night for our theater students and our band students.
and those at home, hopefully they'll be on the website. We'll have some renderings out there. You can kind of get some rough ideas what it's going to look like. So you'll truly enjoy that. All right. Do I have all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes 4-0.
Okay, moving on to Roman numeral number 3, rejection of the following RFPs. Letter A, interactive televisions for Silver Creek School Primary, Silver Creek Elementary, and Silver Creek Middle Schools. Letter B, intrusion access control systems for Silver Creek High School. Letter C, intercom and clock system for Silver Creek High School. Letter D, low voltage cabling for Silver Creek High School. And letter E, interactive televisions for Silver Creek High School.
Do I have a motion to approve?
I have a question really quick. So this isn't throwing out all the work that's been done to vet these and get the cost in, correct? Because I want to make, we're not sending these out to be bid again, are we?
The letters B through E, that is correct, what you just said. We're not sending them out to bid
Okay.
again. If you approve the next one, Calhoun will take those over. Prior to Calhoun taking those over, though, you have to reject bids that we've received on our behalf.
So basically, they will be given the bids and will be able to determine what they want to
Is
do.
that accurate? That's correct. And then letter A, we're going to, for lack of a better phrase here, rebid it. It will not be an official bid, but we're going to break those into different parts so that we can get more competition on letter A.
Okay.
So those will go out to quote again, but we will oversee letter A.
Okay, so I have one question because Jerry is here. Jerry, you've already done this once, and you feel like you have went through item A, which is the interactive televisions. Do you feel like it's going to be beneficiary to send that back out, or do you feel like you've vetted it over? Okay. That's the only questions I had.
All right. So do I have a motion to approve?
I so move.
All right. Ms. Rachel makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
And do we have any discussions on the outside of that? And again, I just want to reiterate, the reason why we're also rejecting this is that a way it does not fall, one, on the school corporation, but two, it does not fall on Jerry's plate. That is a lot to ask for Jerry and his team and staff to go through full renovations. I know you can do it. I 100% agree with, but I also appreciate you also saying, I'm okay with somebody else handling this, because at the end of the day, it is a lot. And so I appreciate you with that. No, so all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those,
Did we get a
Opposed?
second on that?
I second.
Joe seconded.
Aye.
We'll go back and redo that. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0.
And moving on to Roman numeral number 4, request to approve change order number 2 with Calhoun Construction. If approved, change order number 2, which I believe you were sent a copy of today, will be just what we just discussed.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Mr. Badger makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Reagan makes a second. Do we have any discussion items?
I think I've got it now.
Okay, cool. Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Passes 4-0. Comments, reports, and announcements, building administrators. Who do we have here tonight? Mr. Adams.
All right, good evening, primary. Last week, all of our first grade students came across the street here to visit the elementary because they are going to be second graders next year. So we were very thankful to the teachers over here and the staff for welcoming our first grade friends. They're very excited. They love the tour. They enjoyed that time over here. So we thank the staff over here for welcoming their new friends with open arms that we're sending them from the primary. We'd like to extend a special thank you to Danielle Mitchell and the entire corporation's ELL team for sponsoring the ELL graduation last week. It is so great to recognize the accomplishments of our students, specifically those who entered school with English as their second language. So congratulations to all of those graduates. We are proud of you. Last Friday, we had a lot of fun at the primary. We had our field day. So we spent a lot of time outside with our students, participating in obstacle courses, a water balloon toss, a dance party, and even got to enjoy a treat from Kona Ice. There were many smiles and lots of fun. Thank you to Officer Cordy for being our DJ. He did an outstanding job, and as well as our teachers and staff for making this day a success for our kids. And then finally, we are currently in the process of our awards programs. We've already completed 2 awards programs this week. We have 2 more to come. And so we love welcoming our families in the building. We've had a great turnout and giving them an opportunity to celebrate the accomplishments of our students. They've been working hard all year, and we love celebrating their successes. So that's what's going on at the primary as we wrap up the year. Any questions?
No, leave all your hard work at the end of the year too.
Yep. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Mr.
you all.
Thanks, John.
Ms. Myers?
Good evening. It's okay if I put you. Okay. I don't want to mess anything up. All right. Well, first of all, I want to welcome and thank the board. Thank you guys for allowing, to seeing the need of adding a second assistant principal at the elementary school. I want to welcome Kristen Bai to our team. I think she's going to be phenomenal, and we're really excited to collaborate and work with her and add her to our team for next school year. Also, some upcoming events. Field Day is coming up this Thursday and Friday. We split it into 2 days because of our size. This is going to be a ton of fun. We have things. We've got obstacle courses. Mrs. Paget, our PE teacher, has worked really hard to come up with some different games for all the kids. We've got Kona Ice coming. We've got a DJ. And we have a dunking booth that Mr. Cipers and myself will be in for that day. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say, what time does that start?
all day long. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But we do want to remind parents out there to bring a change of clothes because kids will get wet. It's a lot of fun, but they're going to get wet. So bring a change of clothes. And it's an exciting day for our students to have fun. We look forward to that every year. Last day of school on May 31st. Our 5th graders will be celebrating their graduation and transition to middle school. We've sent information home to all the families about this, but most of these students have been with me since kindergarten, so it's certainly going to be missed this year. It's kind of touching because they're the group that I came over with, but we're excited to see their next steps and see them grow at the middle school. So that's an exciting time. And a side note on that, we're coming up on my anniversary of finding my tumor. So it's a special day, like just a reminder of how enjoyable life is and taking every moment for not taking it for granted. We've celebrated this past week our Pride Award winners for our efficiency for the last time of the year. And we want to thank and recognize Preston Alexander, Lily Purcell, Jack Bamforth, Emma Kerber, Mason Jones, Alex Holmes, Ryan Cox, Lucas Arbuckle, Abigail Spires, Lucas Clayton, Danielle Cheatham, Landon Eds, David Van Meter, Caroline Rendon, Sophia Leonard, Zane Simpson, Jace Lewis, Tucker Zenmeister, Easton Crawford, Juliet Welch, Flynn Cecil, Victor Sweet, Grant Kleehammer, Kennedy Trimble, Jackson Hawkins, Isaac Miller, Emma Schulmeyer, Kaylin Fuller, Sophia Losi, Sabrina Boyven, Kipton Groan, Sam Lawrence, Camden Zenmeister, Ava Goodlet, and Evie Carlock. So congratulations to those students for being efficient all year long. Finally, we want to thank all of our staff and students and families for a wonderful 22-23 school year. Our students have grown and worked so hard this year. It's been the most normal school year that we've had in a while. So we're really excited and want to celebrate that. We do have our meet and greet scheduled for July. Where parents can bring in their supplies and also meet their teachers. So the meet and greets for second grade will be July 26th. For third grade will be on July 24th. For fourth grade will be July 25th. And fifth grade will be July 20th. These evenings are from 5 to 7. We do ask that last names N through Z come between the hour of 5 and 6, and A through M between 6 and 7, which is a little odd, but we do that so that we coordinate with the primary school, and so they're not supposed to be in the same place at different times. So thank you guys for a wonderful year. We're excited to close this year and start the next chapter.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sandy.
All right, Ms. Nunn.
Few updates from Silver Creek Middle School. Our track team went to state. We had a few students being able to compete in state. We had Sophia Scott, who won not only in shot put, but in discus, won the state meet for both of those. So incredible, yes. We had Trey R. Smith come in second in the 1,600 meter run by less than a second. And Donovan Whitehead come in third in high jump. So we had some great representatives up at the state meet. I also want to say, even though field day doesn't necessarily look the same at middle school, we do have some classes that are taking advantage of the last couple of days of school and having some fun. And our PTO is treating us to yellow snow, which is a little bit like Kona ice. So we are excited about that. Awards Day is coming up. You have to do yellow snow in middle school, right? Kona is just too easy, so you got to go eat some yellow snow in middle school. Yeah. Our awards days are coming up. We celebrate each class, 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade, a day each. We really are excited to celebrate all the hard work and achievements our students have accomplished over the year. And again, to send our 8th grade off, we really, again, every time I think I've talked up here, we've talked about a fall sports schedule, a winter sports schedule, now it's track. We have so many student athletes that have just excelled in 8th grade, and we are excited to see everything that they can do in high school as they join the high school, and we're excited to greet our new 6th graders coming in. We've had 2 welcome to middle school nights, and I think we've had about 77 to 80% of our students getting to tour the middle school and hear a little bit about what we do at the middle school. So we're excited about them coming in. And I really want to give a shout out to Mrs. Jockum, Mrs. Caldwell, and Mr. Smith. If anybody who attended the choir and band on Sunday, it was incredible. Handbells choir, middle school through high school, singing together, sometimes for the first time, and it sounded amazing. I love that they incorporate both classic pieces and pieces that you can shout and clap your hands to, and you hear on video games and apps and things like that. It's great. It was a great time on Sunday, and it was so wonderful to showcase not only the talents of our staff, but also the students and all the hard work. And I think, again, I don't say this enough, anybody who comes by a 6th grade band class in August is amazed at how they sound in May. And I know it is because of the students' hard work and also the teachers' hard work of that. So I'm just so thankful for this program, and I'm so thankful that, again, getting able in the future to see them be in a great place to have that sound coming out. And that is all that we have for the middle school. Thank you for a great year at the middle school. And again, we look forward to a little bit of a break and then coming back and welcoming our new set of middle school students.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Christy.
Be way over my head. I'm sorry. All right, so we have several things we want to share tonight. Since the last board meeting, the high school hosted a successful prom and after prom, so it was really great to see all of our students dressed up, having a great time at the Grand. It was a lot of fun. So special thanks to Mrs. Connie Holstein and everyone who helped make that event possible. We also want to say thank you to Amy Wheatley and her team of parent volunteers who brought back the after prom this year. It was a huge success, and we had 200 students there. So that was a very cool experience for our students, and we're very grateful for that. We'd like to share our recent SAT results that were made available last Friday. These scores are for juniors that took the SAT back in March. In math, 35% of our students met the specific benchmark set by Indiana. So our score is 5% above the state average. Our math score this year is also an 11% improvement from last year, which is great. In English, 59% met the state benchmark, which is 10% above the state average. And students meeting the proficiency benchmark on both tests was actually 30%, which is, again, above the state average. And overall, our percentage that met the Indiana-specific benchmark for both tests improved by nearly 15% from last year. So we want to thank our math and English teachers for all of their work teaching and preparing their students for the tests, and also recognize our students for being committed to learning and academic achievement. We're also excited to note that Silver Creek High School made the list shared by the Indiana Department of Education, publicizing the top 10 high schools for Ivy Tech enrollment. Silver Creek High School was ranked number 8 from the list of the top 10 schools across the state with students participating in proportion to their overall student population. The IDOE continues to make efforts to promote higher education for students to earn a credential of value, so we're pleased to see SCHS receiving recognition for our high percentage of students pursuing education and certifications through Ivy Tech. As our seniors are finishing up this week, we look forward to some senior activities next week. Included in those activities is our senior review, our senior picnic, and a senior walk through the elementary school. It's a special time for our upcoming graduates, and they all look forward to these events. As a reminder, our graduation ceremony is set for June 4th at 4 p.m., and we would love to see a large turnout for that. A few athletic updates. Our spring sports are in the midst of their postseason competition or are set to start competing this week. We have track and field regional qualifiers for both our boys and girls teams. So beginning with our girls in the 4x8, Rosie Keller, Libby Kokert, Maddie Rhodes, and Keegan Caudill. The 100 hurdles, Lucy Jones and Lydia Bronner. The 200, we have Reagan Cook. The 800, Bella Scott. Shot put, Carly Troutman. In the 4x4, Rosie Keller, Maddie Rhodes, Reagan Cook, and Lucy Jones. For the boys, we have in the 4x8, Austin Jewell, Brady Day, Alex Smith, Boston Just, and Logan James. In the 4x1, Donnie Mosley, Jeremiah Coleman, Chase Calhoun, Jackson Cerna, and Charles Berkeley. In the 100, Jackson Cerna. In the 800, Ryan Graham. And in the 4x4, Donnie Mosley, Kilo Lee, Mac Rhodes, Ryan Graham, and Austin Jewell. Our girls are competing today, and our boys are set to compete on Thursday, so we wish them the best of luck. Our softball team is currently playing right now against North Harrison in their first round of the sectional. So we hope they win tonight and continue to advance through the week, because we'd love to see them compete for the championship on Thursday. Our baseball team is slated to play the winner of North Harrison and Charlestown on Friday of this week at 5:30. And we wish them good luck, as we would like to see them advance to the championship game on Monday at 11 a.m. Our golf team has also been playing very well, and we look forward to seeing them in sectional play on Monday, June 5th. And one last thing, we've had a great year. Thanks to everyone who's made this year possible. For our incoming freshmen, we have freshman orientation planned for July 25th. That will also be the night of our open house. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Great. Thanks, Hannah.
Do we have any directors yet? You want to speak? Okay. Jerry.
I just want to say thank you again. I came in at a weird time of the year, so it doesn't feel like summer for me. But I have a 6-year-old at home who's reminding me 5 more days till he can stay up all night. So I'm well aware that it is the end of May. But our teachers are tired, but they've done a lot of good work. They're nothing short of amazing. And so I'm just glad to be here and look forward to next year.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ashley.
Jerry, anything? Oh.
Unlike Miss Compton, I'm glad it's wrapping up, guys. I want to thank the board and our administration for always keeping my department loyal to us, because I feel like we try to put ourselves out there and do the best we can for this district. And you all have always been supportive, and I want to thank you all for that. And what's getting ready to happen with this high school is going to be amazing. And if anyone hasn't figured that out, it is going to be amazing. This will be, as, what was it with Kevin Costner, build it and they will come. Get ready, guys. So, but thank you all, really, seriously.
Oh, you're welcome. Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Gary.
All right, Jed.
All right. We've been telling Mrs. Compton that summer is like weeks away and months away. So sorry, Ashley. Yeah, just a couple quick comments. First of all, congratulations to Mrs. Bai. Looking forward to her being part of our team. Our recent English language learners graduated 7 students last week from the program. So that's a big deal. Congratulations to those students, families, and all of our staff led by Danielle Mitchell. As we all know, it takes all of us to help all of our kids, and especially kids who come here with language barriers. But also our last board meeting before summer break. So I wish everybody a safe summer. And as a reminder, graduation, as Mrs. Oliver may have stated, is Sunday, June 4th at 4 o'clock. And then Mrs. Kramer, I'd like to take a moment to respond to you. First of all, absolutely, we appreciate everything that you do. I'm sure everything you read there was not a total list. There's a number of things we're not aware of, and that would be true of all of our teachers and employees. Please understand that anytime we want to make additions or reductions to our staffing, it's a huge deal. We get our recommendations from our building principals, from our directors, and then we have to balance with the budget and do what we think is best, make a recommendation to the board. In this particular situation, as I think I've mentioned to you, we did talk with Dr. Eckert about his recommendation to add a Spanish teacher, and we told him no. And my advice to any principal, and in this situation was true as well, I always say, first of all, I would look at my teachers and look at the licensures that they have. That's my first step as a building principal. If that gets the job done, great. If it doesn't, then I would look at master schedule. What does master schedule look like? You and I spoke briefly the other day at my office. Dr. Eckert and I have not talked since Dr. Bomber and I, our last conversation about not adding anyone. I do think we need to look at the high school's master schedule. What does that mean? I'm not sure. Until we sit down with the administration and talk with even some teachers, we need to see just where do we have some wiggle room. Not to say that it all has to go to you. Dr. Eckert obviously chose that, and that's within his discretion. But I would think we could find somewhere in the middle to meet that helps our kids, helps our staff. So, and again, when I say master schedule, what does that look like? I'm not sure. But when we look at prep periods, I don't know. Do we need one prep period a day? Do we need, one every day, one every other day? I'm not sure what that looks like for everybody. I think, but those are the conversations that we need to have. So I would say to settle on that, hey, we're going to close down the library. That's not accurate. If that's what's going to be recommended, we really need to take a big step back because just for the number of things that you just mentioned there. So I think there's still some dialogue that needs to take place. Will it take place by the end of this week or the middle of next week? Probably not. But we still do have a little time, and I do appreciate you coming out tonight and sharing your concerns with us.
I appreciate that. I'm just going based on the schedules that Mr. Porter and I have been sent that we are supposed to be preparing for to teach next year.
Absolutely. We're all only as good as the information we have. And like I say, as I told you, I did say, look, the low hanging fruit typically is look at licensures. Who do you have who can teach certain subjects that you need help in? And then if that works, great. That's easy. But if it doesn't work, then let's take another step back and look at master schedule. And again, what does that look like? Well, anyone here that does the master schedule knows that it's a beast. And so that may take several meetings. But I'm willing to have those meetings to make sure that we're doing first and foremost what's best for our kids, which I know you have our kids' interest at heart. And then we do have some flexibility with who teaches what and when and so on and so forth. And that's the flexibility that we need to take advantage of. Thank you.
Dr. Ballmer?
Oh, yeah, just a few things. As we wrap up the year, I just want to thank, our staff. Again, I've reiterated over and over again, we just have amazing staff, and I just personally would say I'm just so thankful to be a part of the Silver Creek family. And it definitely, from every position in this corporation, people show up with smiles on their face almost every single day. and just put kids first. And it's just amazing, I think, what happens. But it's been a great year. We've had some situations and different things we've dealt with, and it's always handled professionally and with the kids' best interest. But I'm just thankful for our staff and just being a part of the Dragon family. Definitely want to congratulate Sophia Scott winning the state in both shot put and discus. What an amazing accomplishment there. And as we close the books, I will say on kind of these high school projects, and now it's time to look forward to accomplishing what we set out to do. I just want to reiterate and thank the board and everyone else involved. And it's been a lot of difficult decisions getting here. I know we had to stop and pump the brakes a little bit on moving forward with the high school initially, and that has paid off. And here we are today, kind of closing the books on finalizing the last package and moving forward with these high school projects. So I think it's just a super exciting time. I have no doubt this building is going to be just as amazing what our athletics are looking at like right now. So I'm just super excited about that. And we know we're not done. We know we need to turn our attention and focus on the space for other students and other grade levels, and that's coming. It's just going to take time, just like this did, to work through and make the best decisions possible. We want to thank everybody for their patience. We want to thank our taxpayers and our community for supporting us through this process. It's not been easy, but it's going to be worth it. So that's it for me.
Okay. Mr. Basham?
I'd just say it's going to be bittersweet. There's been a lot of long nights and headaches to see a building get remodeled. When I went through it, it was pretty new, so it's going to be exciting. I agree with Jerry. I just hope we don't get a stampede whenever it's done.
So I'll just like to say to our teachers and staff, I hope you have a wonderful summer that's recharging and relaxing. Really appreciate you hanging in there during all the testing. It's just a brutal time for teachers and students, I'm sure. But so thanks for all your hard work this year to do what's best for our students, and enjoy your summer.
Ms. Franklin?
Yeah, just a few things. First, I think food service, Josh was mentioned. That was great. So kudos to him. Sometimes people behind the scenes working in those fields just don't get the recognition. So that's awesome when people are going above and beyond. Just want to make sure they get a shout out. End of the year stuff is always the best. As a parent, that was one of the things I enjoyed the most. Field days, are just great if you're out there with the water guns and the award ceremony. So enjoy those. Those are just great. Enjoy your breaks. Thanks for a great year. It has been probably one of the most smoothest run years we've had in the last probably 2 to 3 years, but it's always a lot of work throughout the year. So I really appreciate everybody. It's hard work, and just looking forward to letting them enjoy summer break. Had the opportunity to do a work session earlier today and walk the football fields and the athletic fields behind the school. We did that as a board with administration. And I just want to say those are actually, I think, ahead of schedule and are anticipated to be possibly done August, for sure by the time we're rolling next year for football. So that's awesome. Anybody that was involved back in 2016 knows that those athletic fields and turf, were highly debatable things, and we were able to get that done. That's a significant part of the journey that we have been able to establish. So I'm really, really excited about that. So good work on that. The last thing I'm going to address is the Ms. Kramer speaking tonight and coming forth. For those of you who have wrote emails, I've received about 20. I think the rest of the board has as well. First and foremost, I want to state that there hasn't been any decisions made on this issue, because the chain of command and the way that this operates is that we are not involved in those decisions. We oversight the recommendations, and then if we have questions, then we ask. And so a lot of the emails I think that I've received on my end have stated that we've made this decision. This is a decision that's going forth, and how disappointed people are in this decision. And so first and foremost, it's important to understand that the board doesn't really have any involvement in those day-to-day decisions. That's Dr. Briggs's job, to work with his building administrators to come forth with recommendations and plans that then are put on our agenda to vet and approve or not. What I will say is that there needs to be a continued discussion on this. The biggest thing that I will just note is that all the programming that Ms. Kramer mentioned, as well as the work that Matthew Horton does with our high ability learners is important to me as a board member, and it's important for our school district. We have a culture here at Silver Creek and in this district of advocacy for our students. And before decisions are made like this, that's the one thing that I think that we need to take into consideration and make sure that we are vetting before we make any recommendations. Obviously, education and budget are extremely important, and that's part of why Dr. Briggs is doing the work that he's doing, is making sure that we are mindful and that we are fiscally responsible and that we're not just approving everything that needs done at a whim or a request. I do think that we have a need for a continued probably investment in a possible teacher for Spanish just due to the enrollment numbers that we have coming from the middle school. I wouldn't be in favor of the programming that we have in the library or the work that Mr. Horton is doing to take a back seat without looking at possible funding options to hire that teacher. So I look forward to a continued discussion on that matter.
Thank you. Congrats to Mrs. Bai for the assistant principal. I know you're going to really enjoy her. I got to hang out with her son yesterday at the Science Museum, so it was fun. I will say Kipton's going to miss you. Having him all the way for the last 5 years now has been amazing. Field days are stressful because I think last year Kipton got sprayed with water, and he didn't want to have water though. I got a phone call from Mrs. Myers saying, "Hey, Kipton got sprayed with water. You got to come save him." So that was a stressful time. Second of all, Ms. Kramer actually just stepped away. I was going to thank her for being here and bringing it to attention, but at the same time, the information that is out there is not always true to perspective because again, we've not made any decision. That is totally to Dr. Briggs, Dr. Eckert, and the staff at Silver Creek High School first and foremost before anything comes through. Kipton will be happy to stay up late as well, Ms. Compton, so that I agree with you there. Sophia Scott, congratulations. Shot put and discus, amazing feat to have not just one, but 2 state titles in the same year. Trey ran a phenomenal mile race. I think he ran a 4:37. I think he broke his own his own record. So I'm sure Mr. Biles is going to love changing that track record again. It is insane, and still got beat, but he's a phenomenal kid, a great runner. Let's see. The band ensemble was phenomenal. First and foremost, I love seeing my daughter out there playing the flute. But to have the high school come together, to have the theater program bring Hamilton involved with it, and like Ms. Nunn said, when they were, bringing in singing tacos into the band, it brings livelihood. Everybody starts like taco. I mean, it was really fun, and I truly appreciate everybody there. And Alex, you will be missed. That was phenomenal for you guys to get together and orchestrate everything. That was really cool. High school projects, I will say. Again, the athletics should they say they're on task to be done by August, and so to have the middle school have an opportunity to actually have access to the baseball and softball field for field days is going to be really nice too. So give them an extra space outside. I also want to say, Mr. Pappenhouse, I ran the first 100-yard dash. I've got it recorded. I didn't have a football in hand, but I did score the first touchdown. So I just want to let everybody know.
He did.
True story. It was really fun. I cannot wait. Sorry, bring it to life. So again, thank you to all our teachers, administrators for a phenomenal year. Cannot thank you all enough. The students are ready. I know you're ready, and I cannot wait to start this journey again next year. All right. Next meeting, June 20th, 2023, regular school board meeting at Silver Creek Elementary School, GPR at 6:30. July 11th, 2023, regular school board meeting at Silver Creek Elementary School, GPR at 6:30. And July 25th, 2023, regular school board meeting at Silver Creek Middle School, GPR at 6:30. Yes, I can talk fast when need be. And do I have a motion for adjournment?
I so move.
Ms. Bright makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Bash makes a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.